our good friend Hasan and our good friend Ethan.
Or first leave Taiwan alone and then give them all guns. Like make Taiwan like America where but the whole like leave Taiwan or first leave Taiwan alone and then give them all guns.
Like, I understand that I am exceptionally lazy when it comes to like hair. Like I've been doing my hair the same way since I've been a kid, right? But is Hasan like normal for changing hairstyles or abnormal? I feel like Hasan has a new hairstyle beard setup like every 3 months. Am I crazy? Is that normal? Do people really change up that much, or is it just he just like change up a lot? It's a rich person thing. Yes,
like,
it's normal.
Make Taiwan like
changing hairstyles normal. It's normal for rich people. Okay.
Like America, where every person in Taiwan has a weapon.
How do we feel about Taiwan, Hasan? China or not
Taiwan?
China? Or is it China or not China?
That's the American policy. Whatever the American policy is, whatever the American perspective is.
What's your opinion? You really won't say?
No, I'm saying is.
Oh no, is Ethan really gonna lean into him on this? So Hasan, his commie side wants to say like Taiwan basically, but just because Taiwan is a U.S. ally and he's going to say like xenophobia or whatever, or we don't like China, so that's the only reason we care about Taiwan and they're just a proxy, blah, blah, blah. But he can't say that because that's actually an edgy opinion that is a little bit too edgy because support for Taiwan is generally popular in media. So it's going to be hard for him, I think, to take that position of supporting Taiwan or of opposing Taiwan because that's actually not, he would have to actually have a backbone to be edgy and have that position. Let's see what he does.
It's like one country, two systems, you know?
No, it's not. It's two different countries.
Really?
Taiwan and China.
Is that according to American foreign policy?
No, what's your opinion? What's your opinion? Taiwan independent?
My opinion on Taiwan is that Taiwan is the Chinese concept of Taiwan should remain in the hands of the people in Taiwan who
so
believe
therefore it's independent.
Who for the record, for the most part, just believe to not disrupt the ongoing relations with.
Why are you being
China.
so carefully footed around
Because
this?
I know that there's going to be a subreddit. Issue. There's going to be a subreddit post with like 1 million comments being like, Hasan wants everyone in Taiwan to be killed because he loves China. He's a Xi Jinping.
That's stooge. What I heard.
That's what I just. It's already over. You asked me that question, like in jest, and it's gonna.
No, I was genuinely curious what you think about it.
I think that
Piker am using a gun.
I think that overall, it's contemporary history is complex. At the end of the day, if the Taiwanese citizens would ever put this up for a vote, and we're like, we want to be an independent nation, it's up to them. You know what I mean?
They
You can't.
Done that?
No.
There is no.
No, what Hasan said is true from everything I've read. The most people in Taiwan.
I don't know this guy, but I already know I hate his politics. I feel like every time he talks, it's just to like give Hasan's political side. Can you imagine being this cowardly with any of your opinions? Yeah, the thing that frustrates me the most too is, I've said this before, there's this concept that exists right now in progressive media about being edgy, but it's like the most politically safe edgy possible. So like Hasan will come out and be like, America deserved 9/11, and it seems edgy, but it's not really, right? Young people, progressives hate America, blah, blah, blah. But like to take an actual strong stance on Taiwan, well, now he actually would have to draw lines in the sand that might cause him to catch some flack. So he'll waffle really hard on this. And it's like, bro, the same guy that the same guy that defended saying America deserved 9/11 won't take a strong stance on Taiwan? Really? The largest terror attack in probably, I think, in world history? And you say America deserves it, but you won't take a stance on Taiwan? That's so weird. But
Taiwan nowadays support just keeping the status quo, like the kind of
but they're
strategic ambiguity of what's
overwhelming majority. The overwhelming majority's consensus opinion is that they don't want to disrupt relations with China, and they also like obviously if it was a situation between like full-blown independence versus like becoming a Chinese state, like becoming a part of the Chinese state.
Do the people of Taiwan like pay taxes in China? Like, do they vote? I
don't know. I don't know the exact details of that.
Do they have like travel status in China?
But the thing is, like, as far as
can we get a countdown for how long until he says U.S. imperialism, Western imperialism, IMF, U.S. hegemony, U.S. interest? There's got to be one of these words is coming up. It's got to be coming. Let's see.
as far as Chinese-Taiwanese relations goes, like the original inception of the country is
British imperialism.
Taiwan
is a fascist dictatorship that America recognized as the real China until Richard Nixon normalized relations with China, and that's where they implemented the they call it strategic ambiguity, which I call lying.
Hold on. This says that the current administration of Taiwan maintains that Taiwan is already an independent country.
Yes.
This does not have to push for any sort of formal independence.
I was thinking of Hong Kong, not Taiwan when I said British fascism. My bad.
Well, that's because they don't want to do like a full blown.
Exactly.
They don't want to disrupt the status quo. That's why they're saying that.
Sure, they don't want to be invaded by China.
They want autonomy while simultaneously being under the Chinese banner, according
Seems like
to
they want independence, but they just don't want to be like attacked by China militarily.
Well, that's part of it for sure. So you understand how Taiwan was.
That's part of it for sure. Now let's go back to the founding of Taiwan, because I really don't want to talk about modern day geopolitics. Let's focus on a long time ago there was bad stuff.
Developed nation state, right? Like, so Mao purged and defeated the counter-revolutionary forces. Taiwan has been a larger part of like China historically, and the original Taiwanese claim was that the entire mainland China belonged to what is now known as Taiwan. And that was the American foreign policy position as well, because, you know, China was communist and Taiwan was a fascist military dictatorship. So they were like, oh yeah, we're just gonna completely ignore China until Nixon normalized relations with China. And then Taiwan became a democratic country, of course, with still a lot of reactionary opinions overall, but like that's gone away in recent years. I think the younger generations have a different perspective on the matter. But overall, like historically speaking, Taiwan and China being the same country, it has been around for much longer than like, as Elon Musk said, Hawaii being an American state. Much, much longer.
Taiwan is already independent. That's what I'm saying. People don't want a formal declaration just because they don't want a war. But they're not wanting to be Hong Kong and be consumed by the Chinese party.
They don't want to be Hong Kong? What happened in Hong Kong?
He's just, oh my God, he's so cowardly. And I hate it too. The thing that I hate the most about this is that Hasan is the political authority on this show, right? Hasan is the one that markets himself as a political streamer. He's arguably the largest political streamer in the world. Ethan is just like a social media guy. He does like funny content and he does a show with Hasan. But Hasan is really the largest political streamer in the world right now. Why can't he give concrete or resolute answers on this? Because you better believe if we were talking about Iraq, that's one-sided. The U.S. was wrong, period. Afghanistan, the U.S. never should have gone in. Horrible, period. Right? Like, he'll give you very quick. Probably say Libya intervention was bad. Bosnian intervention was bad. I imagine he might be against everything, NATO. Who knows? But now with like Taiwan, we need to bring out the most nuanced, waffly, non-committal, fence-sitting positions possible against a guy that is known for, you know, making videos about a guy that licks ice cream. Like...
Am I saying the right place?
No, you
They were independent, and then they got eaten.
They were
up.
not independent.
Oh, they had some rights. They were less independent than Taiwan, and then they got eaten up.
Hong Kong was bought by you know.
Are you saying the people of Hong Kong did not want to be?
There were certainly people that did not want to be a part of China. Absolutely, that is 100% correct.
Most of them.
A lot of people
there took a lot of pride in not being.
A lot
of people enjoyed having Western civil liberties, while simultaneously like being in a unique position. But now that China already does regular trade with the rest of the world, because like at a time in like the 90s, Hong Kong was seen as like this prosperous middle ground. But since the 2000s, like because of an insane amount of development and insane trade relations with the rest of the planet, there are tier 1 cities that are even larger and have more economic activity than Hong Kong in and of itself. And there was always a timeline where Hong Kong was going to be given back to China. They just accelerated it by like 2 decades, if I'm not mistaken. Because that was a lease on Hong Kong. So the people of Hong Kong, there were certainly a lot of people in Hong Kong that did not want to be a part of the Chinese state. But overall, if you look at the situation in Hong Kong right now, it's like they claimed that it was going to be devastating, and that has not happened.
Does this disagreement go on really for a whole 20 more minutes? Is that true? Should I watch the rest of this, or
that we know of, because they have no freedom of speech anymore.
Okay.
They can't talk. They lost
that
their
part
right.
is true. You're right.
What are we going to learn from that?
He got so mad when he said that.
Will not.
They have secret prisons,
I
bro.
do not agree with China's social or civil liberties policies. I do not agree with that at all.
But
so I don't live in China.
But
I live
the
in
United
America.
States, bring up the U.S.
However, having said that,
the U.S.
you can just go to Hong Kong.
Oh, okay, never mind. All right, that's good. Thank God. I thought he was going to win aboutism.
And you can just go to every part of China pretty much and see for yourself. This is no longer like the North Korea style hermit kingdom where like no information comes out. Like we have
regardless,
we have a ton of Chinese people that live in America. And
regardless, bro, it's not that
China.
They had rights. They don't have rights now. They lost a lot of rights. But whatever. I mean, you're. This is interesting that you're very soft. You're very soft-footed around the issue of China. You love China.
I just, it's not that I love China, it's just that I hate America. Just say that. I wish he was just honest about it too. Just be honest about it, dude. Most of the progressives would cheer you on anyway.
Think China.
If you love China so much, why don't you marry it?
Once again, I don't live there. I choose to live here because of the issues that you just brought up, which is civil liberties being taken away, no freedom of speech, walled garden internet. Like there are
this guy won political streamer of the year, remember?
Certainly parallels to the American state or the Western world.
There it is.
There are certainly comparisons that you could make.
There we go.
But overall, that kind of mechanism of control is one that I...
Do you think he actually hates America or loves the image of hating America? No, he loves the image of hating America. There's nothing more American than the aesthetic of hating America. Whether we're talking about actual revolutionaries or people in the early days of the United States, or whether we're talking about quote-unquote socialists and communists that are wealthy kids that have been basically subsumed by capitalism, the critiques of capitalism subsumed by American-style capitalism itself. It's all part of the same. If they hated America, they would leave. Hasan's got enough money to live literally anywhere he wants in the entire world, and he chooses to be in California. There's a reason why, right?
Do not appreciate personally, which is why I choose to live here. But as far as like cruelty, oppression, like what you're talking about with respect to Hong Kong,
where is it?
The promises that Western media overall made about like how China was going to crush Hong Kong under its like ruthless, oppressive thumb has not happened.
I don't think that was the point. I think the point was just that there's whoever was, vocal about wanting to maintain certain rights in Hong Kong was probably thrown in a secret prison and never heard from again.
I mean, certainly there was political dissidents are definitely
not the
political
best.
dissidents are definitely like
taken out back.
They're not killed or anything, but even then it's like completely
they
unacceptable.
take a walk and they go for a beer and they don't come back. You know what
they're not good on that stuff. 100%.
But well, anyway, I was just curious. I didn't mean to open a can of worms, but you say you think the people of Taiwan, whatever they want, and it seems to me that the people of Taiwan want independence. So I'm right with you there, brother. Independence for Taiwan.
I think one nation, two systems.
What?
One nation, two systems?
Yeah. Which is the current...
Like Israel and Palestine?
Oh, my God. You don't want to go down...
Oh, that was such a good... Oof.
That rabbit hole. Come on.
I'm just trying.
You should have leaned into that more.
To get you.
That part is like literally. I mean, that is a. I mean, that's a advocacy in the opposite direction. In my.
Can I just say I will give a lot of props to Hasan. I have never heard Hasan talk about international politics this long without using the term Western imperialism, American imperialism, or American or Western hegemony. Good job, Hasan. He's evolving, okay? Congratulations. I can't believe he's made it this far without using that phrase.
opinion, where
Independence for Taiwan. You heard it here from Hasan.
Because remember, like, the overwhelming majority of people living in Taiwan are still Han Chinese. Therefore, despite the fact that it's a separate country, it's still like the same people. The language is the same. People will say
Ukraine belongs to Russia for that exact reason.
I don't think Ukraine belongs to Russia because Ukrainian nation state, the Ukrainian nation state project. There are similarities. You're not wrong about that. But the Ukrainian nation state project, as a well-defined nation state, has always has been around for much.
Is it so? I might be unfair to Hasan, and there might be times where I'm ineloquent. But one of the criticisms I've made of Hasan a lot is that it feels like he's you go to Hasan when you want like all the progressive talking points rattled off, basically. But I would never go to Hasan's stream thinking like, I wonder what Hasan thinks about this issue. I would go to Hasan's stream like, what do progressives saying about this issue, right? Because I'm not probably going to get an original take on Hasan.
I appreciate that, Destiny.
All right, bye.
Remember to hit that like and subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell so that my videos show up right in your feed.